What's going on, guys? Jameson Rubiksguy here with a Thundurus incarnate form excellent throw tutorial. This will be a similar excellent throw to the other incarnate forms, I bet, but let's jump into it. We got the second camera angle going. Shiny check. Just kidding, this cannot be shiny right now. So what do you mean, excellent throw tutorial? Don't you just pick up the ball and throw it? Well, there are a few things to ensure that your ball never gets knocked away or dodged, and that method is called setting the circle. So let's get into how that works, but first, a few preambles. If you ever get a shiny from a raid, it's a guaranteed catch. Always pineapple or silver pineapple for the extra candy. You hit it with a ball, you caught it. Shinies from raids, and I believe also shinies from Team Go Rocket leaders. Guaranteed catches. This is the legendary that happens to move left to right, and we're generally going to be throwing on him when he's in the center because it's a lot easier to hit consistent throws. So how do you set the circle? Well, notice how the circle shrinks when you're holding the ball. There's only two things that make that not shrink: letting go of the ball or during the attack. It's important to test the timing when you're first starting out and getting the hang of this by holding the ball down, waiting to see an attack, and then watching when the circle is gone and when it reappears. So he punches the screen twice, he settles back down, and the circle pops back up. That's our timing. We're going to use that to know when to throw the ball. Setting the circle, step one. Give the Pokemon a berry like you want. If you have a good one on the screen like a 98 or a hundo, I would recommend goldening, but otherwise I pineapple all the way down to like 5 balls, and then I switch to goldens. The next step is the actual setting of the circle. Hold the ball down until you get the size that you want to make the throw of. So that's about a nice throw. Between that to there is about a great. And then once you get to the size of his face, you're sitting on an excellent. The smaller the circle, even within a certain type of throw, the better chance to catch it. So a small excellent versus a big excellent has a higher chance to catch it. Personally, I'm going to go for an excellent, which is pretty small here. But if you're just starting out, go for greats and then work your way down. Also, always throw curveballs. I don't care if you've never thrown a curveball in your life. Throwing a curveball and hitting it, even if you don't get a throw bonus, is a better chance to catch it than just hitting it with a straight, great throw. So as long as you can hit the Pokemon with a curveball, you're doing better than most accurate throws. Give it a golden berry, always curve your balls, and then practice hitting excellence. Once you have the circle set and the berry fed, we're now going to play the waiting game. We're going to wait for him to be in the center of the screen and then for an attack to start. Remember how I said the circle doesn't resize when he's attacking? We're going to use that to our advantage. As soon as he starts his attack, once the circle is set, I'm going to pick up the ball and start spinning it and launch it so it lands as the circle is reappearing, which allows us to manipulate the game in such a way that the circle doesn't resize. So I'm going to wait for him to go to the center and then watch this. Wait for the attack, pick it up during the attack. Okay, that's an interesting glitch. Wait for the attack and for him to be in the middle. Pick it up during the attack and launch it so it lands as the circle reappears. He starts his attack, you pick up the ball and you start spinning it. You launch it near the end of the attack. He's still attacking when the ball has left your fingers, that's very important. So it comes around and hits him in the face just as the circle reappears. So he's still attacking, here comes the ball, circle reappears, ponk. Hits him right in the face, no time for a second attack or a dodge. It's a lot of words, but it breaks down to give it a berry, set the circle, pick it up during the attack and launch it so it lands as the circle reappears. You're doing the same throw you would normally, you're just doing it at a specific time. I've already set the circle, I was happy with the contact it made, so I don't need to resize. That's just him flexing, it's not an attack. If you're unsure what the attack is, it's when the circle disappears when you're holding the ball down. You can throw it when he's on the side of the screen, but it's hard to be as accurate as you are in the center. But with practice, you'll obviously get that nailed too. Pokemon that go left and right on the screen can be very difficult if you really want to make sure every throw counts. So it's just a lot of waiting around for him to be in the center and then for an attack to happen. Nope. So if you're wanting to chain a lot of raids back to back, or you have a bad IV one on the screen, you might want to not bother with this technique, but this technique will give you the most use out of all of your limited balls. By the way, this is the tripod for the other phone that's filming my screen. Hello. Notice how I picked it up after the attack started and I launched it so it landed as the circle reappears. Give it another berry, the circle is still set. Repeat the process. Yes, you can catch your raid boss on a bad throw. That does not mean that you should go for bad throws. And the whole, oh, I alternate between Nanabs and Goldenraz, just a myth as far as we know. The best thing you can do is just Goldenraz, curve, excellent throw. Some things you might be doing wrong. When I first teach this to people in person back when we could meet up, I would explain it to them. They go, okay, I got it. And then I'd watch their first throw. I'm like, all right, is he going to do it? What a lot of people will do is they'll set the circle, they'll wait for the attack, and then they'll just keep spinning. The attack will finish, and then they'll go for the throw. I'm like, no, you're literally doing nothing there. In order for this technique to work, you have to have it airborne as the attack is still happening. So the attack starts, you pick up the ball, start spinning, launch it, so it lands as the circle reappears. And we've got a piece of fuzz floating through the air. Make a wish. Another possible mistake is if the circle resizes as you've made contact with the Pokemon, so like you set an excellent, and then when the ball makes contact, it's a giant nice. That can happen if you're throwing it just a little bit too late. I promise this technique does work. It's been working ever since raid bosses were a thing, and even wild Pokemon. Because yes, you can do this on wild Pokemon. This is also a useful technique for Team Go Rocket battles because you have limited balls and they attack frequently. So if you find a legendary and you know the 100% IVs and you know you have a bad one, you can practice. And then once you have a good one, you'll be confident in your skills and you say, okay, I know I can make this throw. If you want to see me catching a 100 IV Mewtwo, link up there in the corner. And I was confident in my skills, so I knew I didn't have to worry about it running away. I just Goldenraz, curveballed, excellent throw every single time. Caught it with like 7 balls left. So let's go down the method one more time from the top. Give it a berry. Set the circle to the size you want to hit inside. At least go for a great. I think anyone can do that with just a tiny bit of practice. But slowly reduce the size down to an excellent. Always curveball, because you get a greater chance to catch it with a curve than you do a straight great. Wait for him to be in the middle, and wait for the attack to start. So berry, set circle, wait for attack. Pick it up during the attack and launch it, so it lands as the circle reappears. And you notice that there was a little bit of hang time in that. So the circle reappeared and the ball was still pretty far out. If you can throw it just a little bit sooner so the circle reappears when the ball is closer, that's optimal because then you reduce the chance that he'll attack again. And if you do this just right, even back-to-back attacks will not mess this up. And like I said, if you're doing raid trains or you're just hitting a bunch of them in a row and you know you have a bad one, I wouldn't bother setting the circle. I would just golden and curve throw every single one. Also, if you're familiar with quick catching, and tutorial up here for that, it cuts the average time down to about 6 to 8 seconds per encounter instead of 16. So it's an extremely efficient way of quick catching Pokemon. You can do that on raid bosses too, but you have to drag the berry tray over and hold. For a little bit there was a glitch where it would just pop up, but check this out. Grab the berry tray, drag it over, and I'm holding it down. Then when I throw the ball, I can let go, and the quick catch run menu will still show up. So watch this. I throw it, I pick it up, and now if I wanted to, I could run from the Pokemon right there. But it didn't catch, so I'm not going to run. I'm going to wait for 3 shakes. And once I see that 3rd shake, that was a horrible throw. Once I see that 3rd shake, I know that I've caught the Pokemon. So if you're shiny checking something and you want to quick catch a shiny, but you don't want to run right away because you don't know if you have it, once you see the 3rd shake, you've caught it. Also, when you're catching raid bosses, if you get down to the last ball, if it shakes more than once on a raid boss, it is a guaranteed catch on the last ball only. It will either break free and run before the 1st shake finishes, or it will shake more than once. You've caught it. There we go. I can run from it because I did the quick catch, and it's sitting there in my inventory. From Germany. This is a 11-14-10 if you want to know how to read Pokemon GO IVs. Link to a video up there, and I have a new one in the works. Shiny check. Like I said, you can do this on wild Pokemon as well. When you first encounter a Pokemon, it is set perfectly in the center as a great. So I'm going to wait for this Magnemite to attack. Actually, let's go with a Jigglypuff because they're a little bit easier to hit. It is set to a great without even messing with it. Wait for the attack. Start spinning once the attack starts and launch it all during the attack window. this. Boom. I wasn't that accurate, but you get the point. So guys, thanks for watching this tutorial. If you stuck around this long, you have a treat. I'm going to do a speed solve on my Rubik's Cube. Let's go with a random scramble here. Take some inspection time. If you want to learn how to solve the cube, I also have a tutorial up there for beginner's method, but I'm going to go the advanced way. F2L, baby. Well, excuse me while I just am unable to recognize cases for some reason. Yes, I know my full OLL and PLL, I just messed up the case. Another 21-second solve. I gotta get better. I average 17 and my best is 10, just about 10 and a half. Thanks for watching this one. Let me know how you're doing on these excellent throws. Keep practicing, set the circle, and you will be a master of throwing excellence. See you in the next one. And this guy's a pretty far throw. Jameson, Rubiksguy out.